Hi everybody, welcome back to 100% Mag. So this is your match review for Newcastle versus Watford tonight at Vicarage Road. Obviously ending there 1-1 just before. And the team lineup for the game was as follows, which will be up on screen now. Martin Dubravka in goal, lining up in a 4-4-1-1 formation with DeAndre Yedlin, Fernandez, Lascelles and Dummett in the back four, with Ritchie, Diami, Hayden and Atsu in the midfield four, with Perez playing just behind Salomon Rondon. On the subs bench it was Woodman, Manquillo, Shaw, Shelvey returning to the team for the first time in a little while, only as a sub to come on late into the game. Then Murphy and Mutu and Joselu as well on the bench. Newcastle came into the game pretty strong. We took it to Watford from the off, just like I was expecting Rafa to do, after that terrible game against Liverpool where we got screwed over by the referee. And then it was 29 minutes in and Newcastle were 1-0 up thanks to some absolutely sensational play by Christian Atsu. Obviously a blunder by Watford, and Atsu capitalised on it, put it between the two Watford players, passed it out onto the left flank to Matt Ritchie. Matt Ritchie whipped the ball into the penalty box. Obviously, Rondon just jumped up into the air, free header at goal past Ben Foster's right-hand side, and Newcastle were 1-0 up. And then, of course, he had two more chances, Salomon Rondon, to get goals, which he did, but unfortunately they were disallowed. The first decision was very marginal, and the second one, obviously, was offside for that one. But you can feel very unlucky that he didn't come away from this game with a hat-trick today, because he played absolutely sensational. In my opinion, Rondon was really, really good in the game of the day against Watford. Isaac's success, in my opinion, was the pantomime villain in today's game. He was on the ground a hell of a lot, and he had a chance to score for Watford as well, but it was blocked by Fernandez in an absolutely sensational block as well. Some great play again by Fernandez. He's been a sensational player to watch in defence for Newcastle this season, in my opinion. And then it was like 8 minutes remaining on the clock, and Watford brought in Took. Now Took had an absolutely sensational chance. 8 minutes remaining, he just jumps up, free header. Newcastle's defence is just completely terrible at this point, and probably the only point in the game as well that we had a bad defence. And Took just jumps up and bangs it into the back of the net past Dubravka. And then just seconds from the end of the game, Watford have another chance to claim the 3 points, end the game, put Newcastle to bed. And Took completely flops it, and it was a much easier opportunity than his first that he put away. And we can feel pretty happy about the fact that he didn't get that goal in at the end of the day. He didn't get that shot in, because if he had have, we would have been coming away from a game losing the 3 points, in a game that we were leading from the 29th minute right up until 8 minutes remaining in the game. So at the end of the day, I'll take a point against Watford. That means that we've gotten at least 4 points against them this season. We took that win at St James's against them in November, and then we'll also pick up a point here, at Vicarage Road. That's good, in my opinion. I'll take that at the end of the day. But it should have been 3 probably. But again, you know what it's like with the referees. So we'll look at the league table up on the screen now. Obviously Newcastle's 15th. If we had won, we would have had 20 points, which would have put us 14th in the table. But instead we're 15th, and our nearest relegation rival is Cardiff City, also on 18. Then Southampton on 15 in 17th in the table. Obviously the closest team in the relegation zone close to it is Fulham, who is 18th in the relegation zone with 14 points. So we're 4 points above the drop zone, with 20 games played, another 18 games left to go in the Premier League. I want to see Newcastle start picking up wins and getting them points up, and let's try and get at least to about 11 or 12th in the Premier League if we can. That would be absolute sensational, and try and get this takeover through the door as well. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below about the game. Who was your man of the match? Personally, I would go with Salomon Rondon for man of the match because he played absolutely sensational day. He should have had 3 goals in my opinion as well. But let us know what you think down in the comments below. Remember, like, share, subscribe to 100% Mags. Follow the sponsor, fan5.com. Until next time, I'll see you all later. Have a happy new year and a Merry Christmas. And how are the lads?